the government and the Home Office and Yvette Cooper and Keir Starmer have been humiliated, completely and utterly humiliated, as if they were stripped bare and made to parade naked down at Whitehall to say to everybody, do you know what? We got it completely wrong about the migrants. We got it completely wrong when we decided to reopen the Bell Hotel in Epping and put a load of single men in there because not only has one of them been accused of an alleged offence against a young woman, but all of them are now going to have to be moved out of the hotel thanks to a High Court ruling which came in yesterday because the local council took the government to court and won. And it is, let me tell you, no small thing. This is one of the biggest developments in the history of politics in this country because we have had 14 years of the Tories. We've just had 1 year of Labour, but basically they decided in their wisdom at some point or other during that period that it was a good idea to house migrants who come here illegally in hotels. Give them free access to the local town. Give them free movement. Give them free food. Give them free bicycles to drive around in if they wanted to deliver food and actually work illegally. Give them free everything, right? And look after them. Get doctors to come and see them. Get dentists to come and see them and have them treated as if they were indeed 5-star passengers on a cruise ship. But now the High Court has ruled that basically the hotel, the Bell Hotel in question, is housing these people incorrectly and illegally because the Bell Hotel is no longer a hotel because it is now not operating as a hotel. And so that is the key point in this entire argument. What it means is a victory for small Britain, a victory for all the ordinary people, a victory for the mums and the dads and the children of Epping, the people who didn't fancy having to walk around the hotel so that they didn't get catcalled by the migrants inside it, so that they didn't have to worry about being followed down the street, so they didn't have to worry about being molested or assaulted or even raped, okay? The local people of Epping have won a massive victory, and that massive victory is now going to be played out in the rest of the entire country because every single migrant hotel now is under siege. Every single migrant hotel now is at risk of being shut down and the migrants kicked out because the High Court has finally seen reason. It is a victory for common sense. It is a victory for us here at Talk. It is a victory for you, the good people of Great Britain, who have been coming onto the phone to me for the best part of the last 4 years going, what the hell is going on? Why the hell are we opening our doors to these people? Why the hell are we inviting them in? Why the hell are we giving them everything? And they're just abusing us, abusing our daughters, abusing our sisters, abusing our wives, and abusing any woman that they can come across because basically they come from medieval countries with ridiculous attitudes about female personages because they can't hold themselves to account. They can't walk down the street without wanting to expose themselves. They can't walk down the street without wanting to touch a woman's breast. They can't walk down the street without wanting to put their arms around them or put their hands down the back of their trousers. You know, these people are uncivilised, they're unwelcome and they're unwanted. And the sooner we get them kicked out of this country, the better.
Good morning.
Good for you. Good to see you, and congratulations for winning your brilliant case against the Home Office. I guess the big question a lot of people are asking me now today is what does happen now to those migrants? Do they get distributed into sort of private homes, if you like, residences, HMOs or whatever in Epping, or do they get moved out of the area altogether?
We don't know at this stage, but what I would say is it's not the job of the council to find accommodation for the asylum seekers who were in the hotel.
Right.
It's the duty of government. And of course, if the government were to look at HMOs, which also have regulations as well, the council would look at ways of trying to oppose that, because personally, I believe that would be a completely inappropriate place, particularly without the infrastructure around it, and actually, again, not knowing who's put in those HMOs and where.
Yeah, because the Home Office, I know you had sort of tried to reason with, didn't you, before you got to the case, the actual court case, where you actually written a letter as the council to the Home Office to say, you know, we don't think this is an appropriate use of the Bell Hotel and we'd like you to remove them, the migrants. And from my understanding is that they didn't even respond to that.
That's correct. I mean, we've tried as a council every kind of diplomatic and democratic means possible, and the Home Office just kept ignoring us. We then pursued the court case, which actually was against the owner of the Bell Hotel, as you say, for planning breaches. But even yesterday, the Home Office tried to intervene to block the case and actually keep the Bell Hotel open, just completely disregarding the concerns of local people in Epping.
Yeah, exactly right. And have you even to this day, have you had any kind of interaction with anyone from the Home Office or not?
With junior officials. So as a council, there have been meetings with officials where we have expressed our concerns, our opposition, and we expressed that opposition when it was reopened earlier this year. And actually, the line that we kept getting back from government is that all hotels will be closed by the end of the Parliament, which is 4 years, which obviously was not acceptable for my community in Epping and isn't acceptable across the UK more widely.
Right. And have you been told whether or not they're going to try? I'm told this is because it's a sort of an interdict ruling, if you like. It's kind of, it's not the final ruling. They can't really appeal against it, is my understanding. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, so the judge yesterday actually blocked the right of appeal, which was fantastic news. The council will look at applying for the permanent injunction, but in the interim period, what will happen is that the owners of the hotel will have to apply for planning permission to the council. I would hope that would get turned down. Obviously, that could be subject to appeal, but we as a council will continue fighting this at every stage and doing all we can and continuing through the legal channels as well.
Right. So as far as you're aware, the next step will be the removal of these migrants to somewhere or other, but they have to actually leave the hotel.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks' time, the hotel has to be closed for this purpose. And then if the hotel owners wish to continue to use it for this purpose, a planning application will have to be submitted to the council. Yeah,
and your best wish would be that they get removed from the area altogether, right?
Absolutely. I think I mentioned previously that we've got 2 hotels within Epping Forest District, so we're already taking more than our fair share of illegal immigrants. And we've just seen, this site is completely untenable. I don't agree with the use of asylum hotels full stop, but with the disruption we've seen and also the incidents which have happened as a result of residents of the hotel, it's just completely unacceptable for Epping to have to put up with more of this.
Yeah. And have you had any conversations with any other councils around the country who have come to you and said, we'd like to do the same thing, can you help us?
Yes, so Broxbourne Council have decided to take legal action. They're actually our neighbouring council just over the border in Hertfordshire. Yeah. They've got a hotel in Cheshunt, so they're looking to take legal action, which is good news. And I think if councils can use their planning rules and use the law to try and stop this, it's a good way forward.
Well, it may be, it's the first positive step in the right direction that anybody's ever done. So, I mean, I think you guys will go down in history as real, game changers, because quite frankly, consecutive governments have said they're going to stop the boats, they're going to try and arrest all the people that come, and none of it's ever worked. Whereas, suddenly now we've got a positive act by your council, and it might even be effective on the smuggling gangs who will say, crikey, if now the rule is that you can't stay in a hotel, maybe they won't come.
I think so, and I think that's what we need. We need more deterrence to stop people coming over. If it was up to me and if I was in government, it would be stopping the benefits and the soft system that we have. But I think certainly deterrence, like having no cosy 4-star hotels to stay in, is good. But I do hope other councils follow suit, and we will keep going with this because we do have other hurdles to get through to make sure that this is closed for good.
Yes, and will you go after the other hotels as well then, the other migrant hotels?
Yeah, so we'll be looking at our options. The other migrant hotel has got a mix of women and children in it, as well as males, families. So our approach is to call for the managed closure of that hotel because some of the children are in local schools, but equally it's not in an appropriate location and it should be used for that purpose. So we'll be looking at our options there.
And just finally, I mean, as far as the occupants of the hotel, the Bell Hotel, I mean, how long I know it's been used for about 5 years. The Tories closed it and I think the Labour Party reopened it. But I mean, how long would you say on average have the residents been in there?
So as you say, it was open during the pandemic. Actually, under the last government, it was mixed use. So while we still opposed the use, it was the all-male usage that was particularly concerning. But it's been kind of, on and off for 5 years. There was that year closure period, which was very welcome. And then obviously we had the terrible news that it was to reopen as solely males earlier this year. But the inhabitants are in there for kind of a mix of periods. I understand that they're actually being processed slightly quicker than they were during the pandemic, but obviously there's just more and more going in because the numbers that are coming over, the government just can't cope and can't handle it. And quite frankly, they need to get a grip.